So how has your perspective on love changed over your life? Because I feel like we are all evolving, obviously, and changing. What does love mean to you now, this stage?
While some of you are using dating apps to find the right person, there are many British celebrities who married their co-stars and are still together. Perhaps there's something we can learn from them. Let's have a look at who these celebrities are, their careers, and their relationships with their significant others. Emma Thompson and Greg Wise.
You know, in my house, I could probably be a bit curmudgeonly about Christmas, but I've always kind of got over it because I got kids.
Yeah.
So have you had to kind of do that in the past?
Luckily, my wife is
Mrs. Christmas.
is a committed Christmas elf.
Emma Thompson, already a celebrated actress and screenwriter by the mid-1990s, had established herself with powerful performances in both comedic and dramatic roles. She notably won an Academy Award for her original screenplay of Sense and Sensibility, in which she also starred as Eleanor Dashwood. British actor Greg Wise was relatively early in his career when he joined the cast as John Willoughby, a charismatic but morally ambiguous love interest. Their chemistry was magnetic. On screen, their characters' complicated relationship mirrored the off-screen connection that was developing between them. Though their marriage was not instantaneous, Thompson had previously been married and was a mother of 3, their bond deepened between takes and outside of work. They officially began dating after filming concluded, and in 2003, they tied the knot in a private ceremony. Together, they blended their families, and in 2003, they welcomed a son, Tindy, now known as Tindyebwa Agaba, whom Thompson had adopted. The relationship has endured, reflecting a genuine partnership that thrives on mutual admiration. Both Thompson and Wise have maintained a lower public profile compared to some celebrities, often shying away from tabloids. They share a deep interest in humanitarian causes. Thompson has been an outspoken advocate for refugee rights and nuclear disarmament, while Weisz has engaged in charitable efforts independently. David Tennant and Georgia Tennant.
Wow. And oddly, you met your wife on the set of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But she is the daughter of a Doctor Who.
Yes.
Which must drive Doctor Who people into a frenzy.
I mean, it is statistically quite unlikely. Yeah.
By 2008, David Tennant had already become a household name thanks to his dynamic portrayal of the 10th Doctor on Doctor Who. Georgia Moffat, daughter of 5th Doctor actor Peter Davison, joined the Doctor Who universe, playing Jenny, the Doctor's daughter, in the episode The Doctor's Daughter. Their on-screen father-daughter relationship was compelling, but their off-screen rapport sparked quickly after filming. After The Doctor's Daughter aired in 2008, Tennant and Moffat began to form a genuine connection. Over time, their friendship evolved into romance. They married in 2011 and now share 5 children, 3 of whom were born after their union. They named one of them Wilfred, nicknamed Wilf, in a nod to the show's creator, Russell T. Davies. Their household, which blends creative energy, love, and occasional on-set reunions, is lively and full of artistic curiosity. Georgia Tennant's career has grown to include acting, producing, and writing. Her credits feature the Netflix adaptation The Queen's Gambit, as well as voiceover work in audio dramas. The couple frequently champions each other's projects. In Staged, a comedic series loosely based on their own lives and featuring a cast of esteemed British actors like Michael Sheen, their real-life rapport enriched the show's authenticity. Imelda Staunton and Jim Carter.
You're married to a delightful man who's been on this show many times.
Yes.
And Jim, of course, Carson, as we know from Downton. Well, that's your beautiful daughter as well.
Yeah, that was her theatrical debut, that
Gosh, so she, well, inevitably
yeah.
has followed in your footsteps. Of course she has.
Imelda Staunton emerged in the late 70s as a powerhouse of British theatre and television. Her roles include Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street on stage, and later Aunt Marge in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Jim Carter likewise built a formidable reputation in theatre and television before becoming widely recognized as Mr. Carson in Downton Abbey. The two crossed paths during a stage production in the early 80s, drawn together by their shared devotion to classical theatre. The pair married in 1983, and their early life together was remarkably private. At a time when celebrity couples often attracted media attention, Staunton and Carter remained firmly grounded, dedicated to their craft, their relationship, and their families away from the public eye. They had a daughter, Bessie Carter, in 1992, who has also pursued acting and appeared in Poldark, often alongside her parents on stage. Their professional paths intertwined again visually in 2019 when Staunton and Carter appeared together in Downton Abbey, the first film adaptation of the hit series, Staunton as Lady Shackleton and Carter reprising his cherished role as Mr. Carson. The film depicted a wealthy aristocratic gathering, giving fans the treat of seeing them share scenes again. Behind the scenes, their strong connection undoubtedly helped them portray that refined interplay so convincingly. Staunton has since turned heads with a commanding turn as the title character in Netflix's The Crown Season 6, earning accolades for her portrayal of Queen Elizabeth II. Carter, meanwhile, continues theatrical roles alongside film and television work. Daniel Craig and Rachel Weisz.
I'm not sure I can forgive you, actually, Rachel, because you have come between me and Daniel.
Oh, no.
I've never met Daniel, but I decided he would be my husband, and then he decided on you.
Daniel Craig's career spans a breakthrough royal performance in Elizabeth and transformative roles culminating in his reign as Bond, from Casino Royale to No Time to Die. Rachel Weisz, meanwhile, had already claimed an Oscar for The Constant Gardener and continued to take on compelling, diverse roles in films like The Deep Blue Sea and The Favorite. Though the two had attended the same events over the years, it was on a 2010 film, which served as the catalyst for their deeper connection, that they found something special. Daniel and Rachel were one of the most famously private celebrity couples following their 2011 wedding, which came just a year after Daniel's divorce from his first wife. They welcomed their first child, a daughter, in 2018. The birth was made public via a staged photo shoot rather than paparazzi leaks, reflecting the couple's carefully guarded privacy. Their shared preference to stay out of tabloid culture allows them the freedom to live authentically. Kit Harington and Rose Leslie.
I met my wife in this show, so in that way it gave me hopefully my future family and my life from here on in. That's the main thing it did for me, and then it's given, it's changed it completely. The last 10 years, you could not ask for a better job to have in your 20s, to take you through your 20s, than to be an actor in Game of Thrones. It's been the most amazing thing. So it's changed it completely, obviously.
Kit Harington joined the sprawling world of Game of Thrones as Jon Snow, quickly becoming one of the show's most beloved characters. Rose Leslie portrayed Ygritte, his fiery love interest in seasons 2 and 3. Their on-screen romance was electric, echoing the immortal line, "You know nothing, Jon Snow," and as filming progressed, their off-screen feelings followed suit. By the time the third season concluded, their real-life relationship had gained momentum. In 2018, they married at Wardhill Castle in Aberdeenshire, Scotland, Rose's family seat, surrounded by close friends and colleagues from Game of Thrones. Their ceremony celebrated both private intimacy and public acknowledgement of their bond. In 2023, they welcomed their second child, having first become parents in 2021. Despite Game of Thrones' enormous fame, Harington and Leslie have cultivated family life at a distance, splitting time between London, isolated Scottish countryside spaces, and occasional acting roles. Harington has taken part in Gunpowder and appeared in theater productions like Dr. Faustus, while Leslie co-starred in Downton Abbey Season 6 and in A Discovery of Witches. Both are selective in their projects, balancing creative ambition with nurturing a young family largely shielded from public scrutiny. Each couple's journey began with a connection ignited on set, whether romantic or platonic, but always rooted in artistic collaboration and creative trust. Their shared experiences fueled deep appreciation for each other's craft. Despite high-profile careers, these couples prioritize their families. Choosing to live mostly out of the limelight, they control their private narratives through selective publicity, chosen representation, and discreet celebrations. They're all quintessentially British in origin, with strong theatrical and televisual traditions, yet their work resonates internationally. Sense and Sensibility, Doctor Who, Downton Abbey, Bond films, and Game of Thrones have global audiences, making these partnerships part of a larger cultural conversation. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think marrying a co-star would help fuel your career? Let us know in the comments section below.